we have got what is PWM driver and what is PWM signals. Now let's just understand some of the concepts, functional concepts related to the PWM driver library so that we can understand the GUI and the menu section for configuring the PWM signals. So first concept that is there is the PWM hardware ID. PWM hardware ID in the PWM driver of the AutoSAR MK layer is basically a mapping or referencing that which PWM channel we are gonna use and that channel is part of which PWM instance. So this hardware ID, we give it a mathematical number also, the mathematical number mapping number like 0, 1, 2, 3, and via this mathematical number in our application code it gets mapped that okay, this number 1 is being referred to the PWM channel 0 of the FTM0 or PWM channel 2 of FTM2, and that mapping we can configure in a GUI configuration. Second one is the PWM signal polarity. One of the important concept of PWM signals is the polarity of PWM signals. That is, what would be the state of the pin of the microcontroller pin that is configured for PWM generation before and after the var counter matches. It can be low polarity, meaning that before var counter, variable counter matches the threshold counter, state of the pin would be low, and after the counter match, state of the pin would be high till var counter reaches to the maximum counter value. So on counter match, we will be having a rising edge, that is low signal to high transition, and on the counter overflow, when var counter reaches to the 1000 value, max counter value, then it will be having a falling edge, that is transition from high signal to low. So falling edge comes in. Then another polarity is that it can be a high polarity, meaning that before the counter matches, state of the pin would be high, and after the counter match, state of the pin would be low. So in this case, on the counter match, we will be having a falling edge, that is from high signal before the counter match, that is what is, and from high signal to low signal transition. And on the counter overflow, when var counter reaches above to the or equals to the max counter value, then it will be having a rising edge, that is from low signal to the high signal transition. Then there is another concept of PWM ideal mode. Ideal mode basically that when we are not generating any PWM signal, when PWM signals are not being generated, so what will be the mode, what will be the state of the pin of the corresponding microcontroller pin. So that is the PWM ideal mode, and PWM ideal mode is used very much in the case of motor control applications, okay, because in that when we are using the PWM complementary modes, so we many a times want to set both the complementary mode pins of the microcontroller PWM signals to the low state. So we use the PWM ideal mode that okay, we are not generating any PWM signals, so our PWM generation is in ideal state, like it is not doing anything, and then at that point whether we can generate the high signal or the low voltage signal. So it will be state line of high or low voltage signals after we set the PWM idle mode. Then comes the PWM feature enablement. Like in terms of the feature enablement, we meet that in the PWM generations there are many concepts of duty cycle variation, frequency on period variation, phase shift variation, and all these features. So we can enable that which all PWM features we want to enable. So correspondingly there are GUI, in a GUI configuration we can select that which feature we want to use, and corresponding to those features our APIs in our application code would be enabled for us to use it. Another functional concept understanding is of the PWM parameters. PWM parameters like duty cycle and the time period we have to configure in our PMKL GUI configuration window GUI at the time of initializing the PWM signals. And for period, first of all understanding what are the things for the PWM period, as that is gonna determine a PWM frequency. So for PWM period there is a range from 0 to 65535 value that we have to put in our either in our APIs as a parameter or in our GUI configuration window. And PWM period is then calculated by dividing this number that we put by the timer peripheral clock. So as I have told that in timer peripheral there is an important configuration of timer peripheral clock. So whatever clock configuration that we have done for the peripheral of timer, we have to divide that like the period value has to be divided by that peripheral clock value, so as to get the PWM period. And via the PWM period we will be getting the values in either seconds, microseconds or milliseconds, and then we are gonna just reverse the PWM period value so as to get the frequency. Let's say we have a timer peripheral clock of 8 MHz, and in the timer and the period value that we have fed is of 30,000. So on 30,000 divided by 8 MHz we are gonna get the 266 66 megahertz of frequency that is gonna be generated. And for the PWM duty cycle of MKL driver, there is a range from 0 to 32768 that has to be put on, where 0 is 0% duty cycle and 32767 is 100% duty cycle. Now let's say we have put the duty cycle value of 20,000, that is the threshold counter value, and period value of 30,000, that is the max counter value. So now when we start the PWM signal, where counter will start incremented from 0, and when it reaches the 20,000 value, the counter match is going to happen, and based on the polarity of the MCU pin, transition will happen. After that, when counter value reaches the 30,000, counter overflow event will happen, and again the polarity, depending on the polarity of the microcontroller pin, transition is going to happen of the MCU pin and PWM pin. Now let's say we have a first high polarity, that is counter match. Before the counter match, it is high value, that is from the var value of 0 to 20,000, MCU pin would be having a high signal, and after the 20,000 value, the var value is gonna increment from 20,000 to 30,000, and at this point MCU pin is gonna be low value. So we are going to have a 20,000 by 30,000 duty cycle, that is 66.6%. Now let's say we have a low polarity, so meaning before the counter match, var value from 0 to 20,000, MCU pin is gonna have a low value, and the var value from 20,000 to 30,000 after the counter match, the MCU pin would be high value. So in this case, we are going to have a 10,000 by 30,000 duty cycle, that is 33.33%. So you can see, even though we have put the same value in duty cycle parameter or in the section, but our duty cycle has changed from 66 to 33 depending upon the polarity.